Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Debbie. I'm the Crafty Shopper. So today we are going to do a Jenga block Christmas ladder, kind of a village tree stand. Had an idea, so we're just as we're gonna go along. I'll let you know throughout the video once we're done with the block part of it. I'm not sure exactly how many blocks we're gonna need. Dollar Tree tumbling tower blocks, you can find them in the toy section at Dollar Tree. And I heard a little rumor from my friends saying once that the two tones are sold out, they're coming back with the neutral. That's what she heard and she told me, so let's hope that's the case. I have some only because I bought a lot near, I guess, before they were changing them when I couldn't find them, and then I had everybody buying them for me, so that's why I still have a bunch. Terry got me onto the wood glue. She sent me a bunch of bottle, and thank you to Rachel from California. She sent me a bunch of bottles, and also thank you, Rachel, for the stacking tree and the stacking presents. Hopefully I'm going to get to one of those before Christmas, if not both, and figure something out. Hope you guys all like the Christmas lantern I just did. It's just such a beautiful piece. If you do it a different color, I'd really like to see it. Be sure to come to my page on Facebook, The Crafty Shopper, and come show me. I'd love to see all your ideas and how you decorate it and colors and everything like that. So Dollar Tree has these little cobblestone houses. I've had a few from last year, and I got a couple. I really like the gingerbread house one, and this is the stand that I want to put these houses. Now, when they light up, they're actually really nice. I bought just a pack of cheap batteries from Dollar Tree, and I just thought they were really cool looking. There's this one too. So we're going to incorporate these into this craft, so make sure you keep a lookout for them. And also I want to incorporate some of the little mini figurines for the winter village. I have a couple ones like this. This one came this year. It's a little bit bigger than the miniature ones, but I really like this. This is the first time I've seen them, and I know some other friends, crafty friends, were able to find some as well. So I'm gonna try to see if I can incorporate this somewhere in this stand. All right, so wood glue, always wood glue, never hot glue unless you're gonna put like a piece or two. When you use wood glue, it's less likely to break. Hot glue is always gonna loosen up if it's too cold, too warm, and stuff like that. L-shaped ruler is gonna be your best friend, building with tumbling tower blocks. For the first part of the build, the one part I'm gonna show you now, they're gonna be stacked. And when I say stacked, it's just gluing each block on the wider part of the block. I'm just gonna put it like that. And just like that. And as we go along, I'm going to give you the numbers, and we're just going to start building right now. Now, the first, and this is going to be a big one. It's going to be a big build. The first long piece, we got 11, I'm going to say 11 rows of 2. So stack 2, 2, and just one of these are 22 blocks. You're going to need 4 of them. I'm just going to show you 2 for now. Going to need 4 of these. So that will be 88. You're going to split it like that. Then you're going to need 4 of these. And these are 3 rows of 2. And that's 6. And you're going to need 4 of these. Now these are going to be the steps. Now when we put them together, we are going to, I just want to keep this centered. I'm just going to put this one here. Now, I already did my markings. Now, as you can see there, it's kind of like on the last one, the last top of the block. The next one's kind of in the middle. I'm just going to place them out like this. I don't know if that's straight on your end, right there, and right there. So this is going to hit the top. This one, not so much. let's see. There, I think it's straight. Now, now when I was gluing it together, sometimes you might have a smaller piece just because the blocks are not all evenly measured, might have a shorter step. So what I mean by that, you might have a piece that's a little bit smaller that doesn't touch either side. I'm not going to stick my head under the camera, and I think I got this a little bit crooked right there. So you can see I put my little marks, and the only reason is just for me to know placement when I'm doing this video, except the middle two pieces. I'm just going to move this one here. And you're going to kind of balance it. So you're going to end up with a piece like this. So the 4 steps were 24 pieces. So yeah, 4 steps, yes, 24 pieces. And then, sorry, I was just reading my instructions here, just on the side. I just write down numbers. So I just wanted to make sure that I spoke what I had. Now, you're going to let it glue like that. So then you're going to get a piece like this. So you're going to have 2 of these. So I'm just going to get these glued together, and we're going to use the wood glue, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Now that I put the glue on it, I am going to let it dry. Usually Dollar Tree glue does dry pretty fast, but because it's just a bigger build and it's not a couple pieces, it's obviously more than that. I am going to leave it for at least an hour or so, flip it over. So any glue that might have seeped out underneath, you can give it the air that it will dry. I did add some extra glue to the corners, especially on this one because it wasn't touching like tight enough like the other 3. Also, when you are gluing the blocks and you go, okay, this fits, and then you start gluing the pieces together, or you move them or shift them, I would suggest is marking them. So you can see it in a very faint line here. I actually did 1, 2, 3, 4. That means it's facing up, and I know it fits like that when you start moving stuff around, and just marking it kind of the same place so that the stairs are the same on each spot and that it's even. So I'm just going to wait for that to dry, flip it over, and then we will move on. All right, so now the next step, it doesn't look like a ladder, it looks like a wide ladder, but because we got to put shelves in, but we're going to do that after. So the next thing we're going to do is make the top of the ladder the peak. So when we did glue it down, it was flush to the back. If you can, and you'll notice the front part, I'm just going to, right there is a little bit sticking out. So when you put these 2 pieces together, they'll touch nicely. On the other side, for example, here, I'm going to put, sorry guys, the camera. If I put it, it doesn't touch and the middle's open. So I'm going to try to do this on an angle going this way. Okay, that's the inside. You want to keep there. That's the inside. Now, I'm going to turn, just put it like this. I'm not tying anything yet. I'm just going to try to make my video just a little bit bigger. There we go. You're going to take 1 zip tie. We're just going to put it around the top here. We're not going to keep it there. It's just temporarily holding it together just until these 2, and I'm going to move it here till you make sure that it's level. Okay, I'm not going to touch it anymore. Then we're just going to open the ladder. Just like that. We're going to need, I'm just going to move this out of the way because we're just going to add some blocks here. So we're going to need 4 flat, 3 flat, and 2 flat. Now the placement of them, I'm going to move over here now. We are going to stick them for supporting the back. I'm just going to make sure it's in the camera. There it is. We're gonna start with the bottom one and we'll go through. So we're gonna stick that and it's just gonna sit. I'm gonna make sure that it's at least sitting on one of the blocks on the inside. Right there. I'm gonna glue it on there. And we're gonna use wood glue, not hot glue. We're gonna take the third one, and this is upright, not level. This is upright. 3. And I'm gonna just move it a little bit. So the third one's gonna have more coverage on the ladder. The bottom one is not gonna have, and then the 2-piece one, it is gonna stick out just a little bit because I don't wanna cut the blocks. I wanna make sure everybody can do this build without having to cut blocks. And that one will go right on here, the exact same position. From the camera, I don't think you can see, but it does just stick out a little bit. We're gonna conceal it after anyways. Once I have that placed properly, I'm gonna play around with that. And that's what the zip tie, just make sure when you glue the 3 little back supports on, you make sure it's not gonna be flat, but you wanna just make sure the inner sides are touching and it's flush all the way down. I'm gonna fix the other side. And I'm gonna just do it like that. I'm gonna put those 3 on and I'm gonna let it dry. All right, so I've left them for about 20 minutes to dry. I'm sure it's not cured yet, but what we're gonna do in the meantime, they will stay on. They're sitting on the bottom part of the step of the ladder. We're just gonna flip it upwards. Now the back is a little uneven, but I'm gonna keep the front as even as can be. It's still gonna be dipped in right here. We're gonna take the zip tie off now. Let's see. And take that off. And we're gonna make the top part of the ladder. Let me just move this over. And we are gonna do 4 rows of 5, and that's 20 blocks. And we're gonna sit it. Gonna put the glue on the edge here. You're not gonna touch the middle because it's a little bit curved in, and on the edge of the other side. And you're gonna center it right on top and let that dry. I just wanna mention one thing. When we put it on the end, we are still gonna put a line of glue here, wood glue, just so it tightens here, as well as keeping the top part of the ladder on it, but you wanna make sure so then the shelving itself won't move. All right guys, so it dried nicely. Now, the only reason why I wouldn't put these brackets in the front is because you can't stick them in for the shelves. And I will show that later. But if I stick the Jenga blocks on the outside, then it's sticking out. We won't need them. But I really want to do, when I do a lot of my builds, I want to make sure they're solid and they last. So this could be a build that you could actually interchange decor throughout the year. It really depends on you, and especially the color you do. Now, you could stain it, as in previous videos. If you have any glue marks, you would have to buff those out and be very, very careful. Just because you want it sturdy, because we are putting shelves and we are going to put items on it, and each shelf is just held by these. And I always like to make sure that things are really solid so that you can put heavier things if you want. That's just my theory, how I craft. So we can make it cheap or we can make it long lasting. And I always like long lasting because then all the effort and work you put into it pays off in the end. After it was dried, it was solid, but I did go in between the crack and did hot glue here. I did hot glue down the center on the inside, making sure it wasn't sticking out, and the same as well. Okay, I missed a little spot there. And if your top doesn't fully touch, that's okay, because one side didn't. It did touch the top part, but not the bottom, and that was okay. Extra glue and extra hot glue. This side sealed well. Now, the part where we did do the supports is going to be the back. And I know you're all going to say, oh no, we're going to do paper towel mache. Yes, we are. That adds extra sturdiness, less breaking, and something solid. I know we did it with the stacking stars, and we did a couple builds, I think, with the Jenga block man. And you guys were all like, oh no, it's an extra step, guys. But you know what? If you're going to take your time, and I always like to take my time with builds, that's probably why it takes me long to come out. Plus, I don't have a lot of time. So when I get a chance, sometimes I can do this. Like, I will do this part tonight, and I'll let it dry fully because it will take time. You're going to grab some Elmer glue, school glue. You can get it from Dollar Tree. I think this is the Dollar Tree one, white glue. Any kind of glue that you could do on there, the cheap glue. I just put in those little containers. You know those ones you get in the kitchen department? You can put a lid on it if you don't use it fully. And you're just going to brush them on like you're painting it. We are going to paint it later. I'm just going to show you. And this just adds an extra sturdiness to it, as you can see right there. And then I will just brush a nice, lovely coat over it. I don't know if it's going on the other side. I will check. So you're going to try to make it really flat. I just don't want to stick my head under the camera. And then we'll just add another piece. Now, I just ripped up some paper towel from Dollar Tree, used the cheap stuff. And I'm just going to keep adding pieces like this that will overlap, because this one's nice and thin. That will just give you a nice finish afterwards as well. And you can do any color. And I am going to do the whole stand like this and then let it dry overnight. All right, while the ladder is drying, we're going to move on to the shelf. So we're going to do 3 shelves. And this is, I'm just going to, the smaller shelf, I'm going to call it the top shelf. And we're going to do 6 rows of 8 flat. So this total is 48. We are going to do another shelf, and this, I don't know, I got glitter everywhere. 7 rows and of 8. And this one is 56. 48, 56, and then this is going to be the bottom shelf. And we're going to do 8. There's the glitter. I don't know why I wasn't using red glitter. I don't know where the red glitter came from. The next shelf is going to be 8 rows, 7, 8, and with 8, the exact same thickness of the other 2 shelves, but the 8, so this will be the wider one. And this one is 64 blocks. So altogether, I don't think I'm adding any more blocks to this now, and that's 326 blocks. So in a box comes 72, so you're probably going to need about 4 boxes. I'm just assuming off my head. I'd have to do the math for how many boxes, but that's gonna be good. It's coming out good, guys. Now, I just want to show you. So it's basically just like this. So you have the bigger one, smaller, and the smallest one. Now with the paper towel mache, like I said earlier, it gives more strength to the build, and especially because we're going to fill these shelves, and depending on the weight, and if you put a bunch of little things on there, especially the houses and that, I'm not saying they're super heavy, but at the same time, I want to make sure if I do put something that's a little bit smaller that's heavy on there, that it's not going to break. So I am going to do paper towel mache on the shelves as well, but I'm not going to do it with ripping them all up in pieces, because the ladder did take a little bit of time, but when we make crafts, we always take our time to do it, and always feels better and will be long lasting. I'm just gonna put the glue all on here and just kind of wrap it. I'm not gonna fold the corners. I might just glue it like this, and then I'll just trim the excess off. Actually, this one actually fits perfect, this Dollarama or Dollar Tree paper towel. So I will do the shelves like that. Obviously cut these ends off and just fold one little piece over so it's nice and thin, but still gives it strength. And I am gonna do that on the rest of the two boards as well, and then we'll get back to the ladder. All right, guys, so while the shelves dry, I'm gonna go ahead and start painting the ladder. I think it turned out really well, and depending on what color, you can do any color that you like. I'm just gonna do Tuscany red. That's kind of my favorite color, and the reds are Christmas red. You can do any color. You can paint it brown, gray, whatever your heart desires. It's totally up to you, but I am going to paint it red and give it a couple coats. All right, well, the ladder is drying and it's coming out so good. I'm really excited to put it all together. Now the shelves, like I said, I just did the one piece, a full piece, and I think it's gonna be great to hold anything that if we wanted to put something heavier on it. Now, I was gonna go red, but I think I'm just gonna do the shelves white only because we're gonna be putting snow and lots of color, which I think will pop. But once again, you can always put whatever color you like on, either change up the colors on the ladder or the shelves, but I'm gonna do white. All right, while the ladder and the shelves are drying, I did do a second coat on both of them. I thought we'd get a head start on what we're gonna put inside the village. Now these are just Dollar Tree little village houses. They do come, you have to put batteries in them, 2 of them of AAA. I just grabbed some from Dollar Tree. I tried them out the other day and they work actually pretty good, so you don't have to spend a fortune on batteries. Now, I'm just gonna shut this light off. Just want to show you here. So this little part where you can see the little bit clear of the paint not being well, I am just going to take some black paint. I'm just going to take some black paint and touch up the roof. And you can go through some of them. If you don't want to put some snow and just cover up, put more fake snow on it, I'm just going to add some Dollar Tree snow and just use some Dollar Tree Mod Podge and put little snow there just to cover that up instead of leaving it like that. You can paint them. I know some people have totally spray painted them all white and then added like more of a gingerbread theme. But for me, I'm just going to keep them the colors. I just think the colors will pop on the white shelves. I especially love the gingerbread house, and I wish they had a few more gingerbread different style of the houses. They don't. I'll touch up a little bit of the paint on top, and I also thought on the chimneys on all of them, I just have some fiber fill from Dollar Tree, and just to make like some little smoke coming out of the roof, and just kind of gluing it on, I think would just be nice to add a little touch to it. You could also add, so I'm just going to turn them this way. I think I'm going to use these 5. I think these are the 5 I want to use in them. So you can change the colors, really up to you. I also thought about adding some stuff to them, and I'm just going to grab my little container here. Now, I got these on Temu last year. I never did use them, or did I? The gingerbread house, Jenga block gingerbread house. I mean, you can put them on there, hot glue them. I haven't decided, haven't got that far. Even the little gingerbread man, these ones are actually from Temu as well. I can put them in the front for extra decor. If you are in Canada, look, even the small little candies are cute. The poinsettias. If I had a little reef, I would probably change that reef out. Even switching these up just for something a little extra to it. I have these little little Christmas trees. I thought about maybe putting them somewhere. I can't remember right now which one it was. There's little things you could add to it to make it your own. Now, I'm going to show you. Dollar Tree did have these, and it came in one pack, and I thought they were cute. Obviously, it goes with the size proportion of the houses in front, and you can use those. But Dollar Tree actually had these. Now, I thought these were especially cute because they are just a little bit bigger, a little bit more realistic, I guess. I don't know, just for something different. Let's see if I can open them. They had one, when I looked online just to see the patterns, they did have a truck with a pusher in the front, looked like a snow truck, online on the dollartree.com website, but I could not find it in my stores. I looked at a couple stores and I couldn't find it. And even with this little red Jeep, could cut down the wire there and you could just hot glue that back on as well. Those are just other little options. And there was this other one too from, these are the perfect size. I just happened to be, but they weren't the perfect size when I ordered them from Temu. I think they were like $2.50 or $3 last year. And I thought it was kind of funny when I got them that they were a lot smaller. But I think just proportion wise with this Christmas village, I think they will turn out a good size. I don't know what the yellow is on there. But they're little options you guys can do if you guys want to order stuff. I still got the people on that, but I am just going to do a little bit of touch up with the houses before we start putting it together. All right, so I did put the shelves. Now there was a couple things that I was thinking about. I know you can't see, it's not upright, nothing's glued on. There was a couple different things that I wanted to do with the shelves. So they are sitting with decor in it there. Majority of it's from Dollar Tree. And there was a couple ones, I can't remember when I recorded yesterday if I showed you the choo-choo train, the gingerbread train. That's from Dollar Tree as well. That came out new this year, and I did post it on my Crafty Shopper page, and I know a lot of you were able to snag one, so that's really good. I was going to glue the shelves down, and then I decided not to. Now, putting the village together, you could just place stuff on it and not glue anything down. I was thinking about different lighting. You can't glue the houses down because if you glue the houses down, then you can't turn them out on underneath. I thought it would be better to not glue the shelves in. This was already on there, except this tree keeps falling over, is that I could pull it out if need be. The middle shelf is the one that really, I guess I was stuck on for a bit, only because I did put the gingerbread house in the middle. So you have to make sure if you glue, for example, these on the ends are fine if you have all these trees glued here and everything else. But the middle one, if you have everything glued, at least you could slide out the shelf when you want to turn it on. I mean, that's a little bit of work, or you could just, you could just tip it over and turn it on from the inside, which will work as well. But I figured that because of the, I guess the texture of the paper towel also on the ladder itself, the shelf doesn't move, if that makes sense. Just, I guess, the material. So I'm not going to glue them on. Another thing I wanted to do, I did try putting the houses, just the houses on with the lights. It does look nice, but I thought also the base would be with lights as well. And that was another thing that I sat on for a day, and I'm like, how did I want to wrap them around the ladder? There was different, I guess, ideas that ran through my head, and I think the best idea that I came with, especially if I want to have the trays to move out, and the good thing about this ladder, if you make a couple more shelves, and you can change it for seasons. So say if you have these glued down, and then a different season, you can slide out the shelf, make new shelves. Halloween, you can make it for a plant, a summery one. Really, it just depends on what kind of decor you want to put in there. So that's another good option, is making an extra shelves. You could just swap them out for different, depending on what you put on top as well. Now what I'm going to do is I have these little, they're just little fairy lights. They're not from Dollar Tree. I don't really buy Dollar Tree fairy lights. I bought these ones either from Temu or Amazon. I can't remember. I like these ones better. I have flat ones too, but I like these ones. They have 3 different settings. I'm just going to keep it on there. Now, I'm going to glue, not houses, everything else except the houses down. And I want to hot glue all this wiring once I have my decor on each shelf glued on. I just want to glue on, just wrap it around once they're, and just keep going around, being mindful where you're going to have your placement of the houses so that you don't glue the wire that it's sitting lopsided. Once I have the wire glued down and a proper placement where I'll put the battery packs, say for example at the back of the tree, you could even wind them up into the tree as well, is I'm just going to take some matte, let me look here, some matte Mod Podge, or you can use the shiny one too. And I'm just going to throw some more snow down, even though it's white. And as you can see on all of the bottom of the houses, I did do the snow white, not just leaving the basic plastic showing. So when you do them, take them off, you should have your little marks that around where you have the existing snow, and I think it'll turn out really, really good. I did like the little, I don't know if you can see it in the back. It's hard to see unless you have something dark underneath it. It's just the little smoky, looking like the chimney. I thought that was really cute, and it did turn out well. Now with the little reindeers that I showed you earlier as well, there's another option. These were from when I crossed the border last year, just close to where I live. Walmart has like a really cute stuff. They had 3 little reindeers for $3.98. Yeah, kind of expensive, but I really like them. There's also an option to use these as well because they are pretty small enough that you could put in your existing build as well. You could make this a gingerbread build. There's a lot of different things you could do with this build. So what I'm going to do is what I just told you, do that. And I'm going to do it with all 3 shelves. And then we're going to move on to the top of the ladder and then we'll be done. All right, I've done the shelves. Took a little bit while to put all the wire down and then the snow on top, but it looks really good. In the front, and I know it's hard to see on the angle, and you can see where I'm kind of pointing here on the front part where the V of the top of the ladder. I thought I'd put a little bow. I had a little bunch of bows from Walmart that I bought last year, and they just came in a little 6-pack. I'm a horrible bow maker. I was like $2.48 when I was in the US. I think I'm gonna put a little bell there. I don't like seeing the little tinfoil tie, and I just cut a little bit shorter, and I'm just gonna put it right underneath that lip of the shelf right there and hot glue it on. Oh, I got paint on me. Next thing I want to do on the middle shelf that you can see right here, you'll notice too when you make the ladder with the inserts of the shelf, and I believe I told you this before, that this could be a multi-purpose ladder where you can take the shelves out, store them for the winter or for the spring and summer, and put a different theme in there. That's what's versatile, and I did not glue them down the shelves, so you can put another unit in there. I had this, I don't know if it was cupcakes or just a little cake that I had that was just Merry Christmas. I'm gonna just hot glue that, and I like the offset of the red against the white, and it's thin enough that I'm gonna put a little bit higher, that when I pull out the shelf, that it's gonna be able to just hot glue right in front of it, and it just gives it a nice look. All right, so all the shelves are done. So on the top part of the ladder, I thought about just putting some greenery or anything like that, just a bunch of different things. I did find this star that was just in my stash that I want to put right in the middle, right on top. So when you look at it from the front, it kind of looks like a Christmas tree with a star on top. I am going to paint around the base on top white and add the snow before I glue down the star with the fluoroform. And I thought I had just some Christmas balls, some bells, some little peppermint candy things, and just a little bit of greenery. I'm just going to stick on top around the star to finish it off. Once I'm done that, I will turn the camera around and we'll see what it looks like finished. All right, guys, so here it is finished, and I'm just going to show you what I finished on top. I think it turned out super cute. And what I'm going to do is, you can always see a closer picture on my Facebook page, The Crafty Shopper. I am going to turn out all the lights, and I'm going to turn the houses on, as well as the fairy lights that I put on each shelf. All right, guys, so this is as dark as I can get it in here, but I do think it just turned out super cute. I probably would have put a little bit of a light along the top where the star is, but other than that, I think it turned out really sweet. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Happy crafting, and see you guys soon. Bye.